Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. Hello, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. I spent most of yesterday in my bat cave, uh, editing and working on videos and making shorts for the week and stuff like that. So I was kind of hunkered down in my hole a bit. It did get very, very cold overnight. Everything was frozen in the morning. Same thing this morning. Everything was frozen. Next week, we're supposed to be in the teens. And then I think we're supposed to get hit with another wave of that big cold that's coming through. So we'll see if that means that we end up with ice. Ryan Hall thinks it's going to be, this Arctic blast is going to be more and felt even further south, like to the Gulf, and that we're going to have more of an ice storm. So we'll see. The kids got to miss one day of school for the last little snow situation that we had. So we'll see. Last year when we had that one ice storm, it was about a week so that the kids were out of school. And if we'd had one more day of weather call-offs for the rest of the year after that, they were going to have to extend the school year. So, which would have meant that Frankie couldn't go with us to the meetup last year. So, luckily, that didn't happen, and she was able to come with us, so it worked out. But we'll see how it goes this year. They haven't had to cut the school day short so far this year because of storms at all, except for that one day that they canceled school. So we'll see how that goes. We have completely thawed out now. The snow hung around in spots for a few days, but sorry, Mike just popped out the door real quick. I don't know if he heard something on the porch and just decided to pop out. So sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, I had snow everywhere in nooks and crannies for about 4 days. And yesterday, the last of the snow melted. So today's Tuesday. I know you guys are going to see this on Wednesday, but the last of the snow melted. But like I said, we are still getting freezes at night. So the water troughs are freezing over. Not too bad, but the hoses are freezing and all that fun stuff. So you got to kind of go out a couple hours later and fill everything. So it's not the end of the world. It's just cold. And it's right now actually not too bad. I think it's like 40 degrees right now. It's not that bad at all. And it actually feels a little warmer than that. So I think it might be a little bit humid. But yeah, made it through. No real problems. It definitely killed the last of my garden bed here. All my hostas that were kind of hanging on by a thread at the end of December are completely gone now. That snow and severe frosts and everything finally did them all in. As to be expected, they'll be back next spring. They need a little time to recoup and regroup, don't we all? But Mike was working on, if you guys watched yesterday's video that came out on 3 Mississippi, Mike was working on our neighbor's deer. They have a deal where he, takes care of the deer for him. So we spent a good chunk of, I think that was on Sunday, working on that deer. Well, he was working on it. I was filming him working on it. And a couple other odds and ends, but he's got it all ready to go. At some point, he's going to be like, hey, I need you to ground X amount of pounds of meat, but he hasn't given it to me yet. I think he's still kind of separating out a few pieces and whatever. So that'll be something on my list, not before too much longer. And then I actually have to make a trip into town today. I'm going to be running by the P.O. box. There's a rumor there might be something there. So I got to run by there. And tomorrow I need to run into Tupelo. Mike's got a pair of his work boots that were getting repaired in Tupelo. So I got to find time to go pick those up, go do that. And then, of course, we have our live with you guys tonight on Wednesday. So we'll be hanging out with you for a while and doing that whole shazam. And then this weekend, I'll be real honest, we worked on electrical in the shop on Saturday, which I think I mentioned to you guys. Got that all up and running with the added lights I know there is more work, more drywall work that needs to be done in the shop. There's going to be painting once that's all done, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure what's next on Mike's checklist for that. So I'm not sure yet what we're going to be working on Saturday, this upcoming weekend, because that's really the day that we get the most work done. It's the day that we have the whole day, whereas Sundays, half the day is, church and things like that. And then we've got about a 3-hour window in the afternoon before I need to take Frankie to evening church activities. So we have to kind of cram stuff in on Sundays, and it's kind of hard with, Mike working a full-time job. Sometimes it makes it tricky for us to get other things done that need to be done together, or, aren't just things that I can do myself, or, if it's a building project or an electrical project, there are things that he's working on. Not in my realm, not in my list. So yeah, and then I know Frankie there's a soccer game this week that she wants to go see, so I gotta get her to that and run to Starkville once this week. Lots of running around this week. Need to pick up some more feed at some point. So, the dogs, by the way, the outside dogs, Kusi and Tashka, loved the snow. And they got some treats, of course, from Mike processing out that deer. He always saves the femurs for them. And then there were some trotters that he saved for them, so I gave them those, and they loved that. So they're happy when they get extra little treats like that. It makes their day, I think. And the chickens were out there picking on the rest of the carcass. So they weren't as enthusiastic about it as I thought they would be, because they've had pieces of it before, but this time they weren't digging it. So I don't know. I'm not sure what that was about, but they have been laying more lately. They all went through kind of a molt right at the end of fall. And so there was a couple weeks there, after the time change and the shorter days and all of that, I wasn't getting, maybe I'd get one egg, but now I'm back to getting, about a half a dozen eggs a day. So it's creeping back up. It's creeping back up, which is good, because for a while there I was like, I was glad, I water jarred? That's not right. Water glassed in big jars some eggs for the winter. One of the eggs cracked and spoiled the lot, and I didn't catch it fast enough. And so I had to dump all of those eggs, but the rest of the jars I've been using, and they've been fine, but now they're starting to lay again. So I haven't had to dip into my stash again, but probably need to, this summer I will rotate through that and use the rest of those, and then re-jar ones from this summer, just so that the ones that are on the shelf are, a little bit more fresh, and I can check them over and make sure everything's kosher. You can supposedly leave them on the shelf for a year or two, which I'm sure is fine, but might as well kind of rotate them through if you can, just to keep them fresh. Keep them fresh as a little daisy. That's what I say. So there you have it. That's it. We will see you guys tonight on the live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope you're doing well. Stay blessed, and remember, safety's off.